Hello everybody, ProtoFoxy here, coming back at you with another video. And now kind of full disclosure right now, normally I film a lot of my videos in groups, so I've got a bunch of videos already done, but anyone who follows me on Twitter knows that this came in the mail, and I'm like, let me get up my review of this right away because I just need to tell everybody about them. And as you can see, this is the Generation Selects Earthrise G2 Megatron, and this is something I've been waiting for a while. This is a toy that had me excited. This was the absolute reason why I did Megatronapalooza for that month or so of Megatron reviews. Yeah, this was something that excited me a lot. For all of you who actually went through and watched my Megatronapalooza videos knows that the Generation 2 Megatron, the tank, the original, probably one of my favorite Transformers of all time. And, you know, so when they announced this and showed pictures and all that, I was just super excited and had to have it. Anyway, enough jawing on about how much I love Generation 2 Megatron. Thank y'all for stopping by and coming through and checking this out. Hopefully y'all are staying healthy and safe out there. And hopefully y'all are staying warm. It is a cold, cold February where I'm at here in Illinois right now. 3 degrees and we got snow. So hopefully I can entertain you and while you're staying warm and all that. And without further ado, let's get into the review here. So this is the Earthrise Megatron mold. And recoloring, you can definitely see that it is based on the Generation 2 tank Megatron. You know, with the green and purple camo, very 90s in its color scheme. You got bits of orange in there and such like that. You'll notice here that the feet hang out in tank mode, much like it does on the War for Cybertron mold. And basically, this is a almost what I would like to call a reskin in a sense. Because there's you know, there's definite mold changes, but it's, you know, it just has enough to make it look like an Earth tank, but you definitely still have some of the callbacks to the original mold. My favorite Decepticon symbol right there, and just the colors pop. But yeah, it's reskinned to look more like an Earth tank, and we'll get more into robot mode about this thing. This helps it actually look more like an Earth turret. And again, like I said, a thing to note, at least on my copy of the toy, heel spurs don't like to stay into place. Both of them will pop out. That one's actually being good. Not sure what I can do. Probably a little bit of super glue here and there, just to kind of stiffen that up. But we'll get through it here. That's, you know, not a big deal considering. Turret moves. 360. You know, we got little wheels on the bottom, and you can see on the bottom how things are going to work. You got a bit of Megatron's head there, which I'll talk about in robot mode. But he rolls. But yeah, it has the front end. You know, the front end is probably the most extensive remold here of the tank. And I'll show you with the War for Cybertron Siege tanked up Megatron. And I actually, to fit in theme, I grabbed the Generation Select Combat Hero Megatron, which is based on an unreleased Generation 2 paint scheme. As you can definitely see, while let's get these back a little further. While there's definitely some similarities, obviously, with the feet hanging out the back, now you can see the other heel spur. You know, where they touched up and remolded things and this and that. And how this got away with doing more of the H-tank look because it was Cybertronian, while this has to be a bit more filled in right here because it's meant to be an Earth tank. But that's that, and you know, they look really good together. Definitely a nice update to Megatron. And we'll go over and we'll bring in one of my favorite Transformers of all time, and the inspiration here. We got Generation 2 Megatron, and as you can see, where all the design cues come from. And even the big little hump here where he's got the big stick on the turret. You can definitely see the camo pattern and everything that influenced it. Definite little callbacks to the original mold, but not in the same spot. Like obviously here on the turret, we got the orange. We got the G2 Decepticon symbol on the orange. Here we have it here, and this and that. But yeah, and he's a big boy. I'm gonna have to move the camera when we do the robot mode comparisons and all that. But all that being said, 5 minutes yakking about the vehicle mode. Let's go ahead and get it into the robot mode. And now what I like to do right away is obviously, with the way the feet hang down and this and that, we'll go ahead and just open up the feet right away. And then, yeah, because those are hanging down anyway, may as well get them out of the way. So open up the feet. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this turret section, this front turret section forward, and you can see it turns into some kind of, I don't want to say sword, because it's definitely not like the sword that came with War for Siege Cybertron. Oh my goodness, I'm speaking good today. Siege Megatron. It's more like a spear of some type, so definitely, the sword was better, but this works. Go off to the side. We'll go ahead and open up the arms. Which if any of you have the Siege Megatron mold, any version of the Siege Megatron mold, this is going to be very, very familiar to you. Go ahead and take the cannon off, the arm cannon, and then this little piece right here, it goes to the spear weapon. Slide that out, and we can go ahead and get moving. So what I like to do first is I will always pop the legs loose, have that filler piece there, because I always start with the legs. It's just easier that way. And you saw how I did the little twist and turn and get that together. Well, I'll go ahead and walk through the step this time here. So you're going to separate here. You got pegs that slot in there. Then we're going to slide that filler piece down. You can go ahead and rotate here. You can see where the joint is. Rotate, and then bend, and then bend, and then pop the filler piece up. You got the legs, which are on backwards, which ain't any good for Megatron, so we got to go ahead and turn his waist around. And so there we got that. Let's go ahead and get the camera up a bit so we can work on the top here. And you can see my power outlet. Anybody who's been watching my videos for a while, who knew before I got the camera stand and doing on-screen transformations, knows the power outlet. But anyway, so we got the arms. We'll just leave them like that for now. Here, now this is a little bit different from the Siege Megatron, because these tank tread pieces here actually slot into the torso. So what you have to do, gentle, and you can see the tabs, and I'll even get you a close-up of the slot right there. You can see those tabs go into that slot, but everything separates very similar. I'm going to go ahead and extend, and then we'll go back. So the extend, go back, hit Megatron on the head with his own tank treads. So what we have here is again, very similar. We got pegs there that'll slot in there to hold those in place. Now we can go ahead and rotate the shoulder joint forward. We'll go ahead and get, well, we'll leave it like that. That's part of the transformation there, I guess. So go ahead, bring it all down, and then the head sets on a little pedestal there, and then arms come out. And are we done? Yes, we are done. We have Earthrise Megatron in robot mode. First and foremost, before I get him accessoried up, go ahead and cover a bit of articulation. Head's on a ball joint. Looks up, look down, side to side, and you can see the ball joint right there. Kind of odd where they have the ball joint, but it works. 360 at the shoulder. A little bit over 90 degree of elbow bend. No wrists. We get a bicep swivel. Got a waist joint, which actually works a bit better than Siege Megatron's. He can kick forward. Can go back a little bit. Not all the way back. I mean, if this wasn't here, he would go all the way back. Full side kick. Knees. Rotation. Rocker joint. Nice bit of knee bend, 90 degrees. And that is that. And we'll go ahead and get him armored up with his accessories. And first and foremost, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take the spear weapon. You're going to take the little flat piece that hooks into his back in tank mode. I'm going to go ahead and tab that together like that. It sets like that. Instructions will show you to go ahead and put that there in that forearm like that, blade facing down, so we got that. And then his arm cannon goes where his arm cannons always do. Right there. And we have Megatron completely weaponed up in robot mode. Let's get a look at that head sculpt. Get in close. Look up. Oh, give it to me, Megatron. Give it to me. There we go. I kind of like that. It's a bit more stern, you know, than some of the other ones. I definitely dig that head sculpt. The detailing on this toy is absolutely amazing. I'm going to be beaming about this toy here for the rest of the review because I love this. This ticks every single box for me. This is a throwback to my favorite Megatron. This thing looks good. Now, I was actually going to skip the Earthrise mold, and I still am. This one didn't convince me like the Generation Selects Siege Megatron did. I just feel like there's too many similarities between the Siege and Earthrise mold, but this had to have. This is based on my favorite Megatron, and he is glorious. This is 90s in plastic form, and I am all about it. I love every set. I love every bit of this toy. This is easily now my favorite Megatron, next to the original G2 Megatron. But let's go ahead and get some comparisons in here for you. Again, sticking with the G2 theme, we've got Combat Hero Generation Selects Megatron here. And as you can definitely see the differences in the mold here now. Obviously, the whole pelvis section is different. The waist section is different. I believe bits are reused here for the chest. Arms are similar. Little bits are taken out here and there, like obviously the flip down thing there to accommodate the pegs for the spear. Tank treads are obviously different, especially on the feet or the legs, you know, but you can definitely see where they change it. And of course, obviously Selects Megatron, Selects Generation 2 Hero Megatron, his head sculpt's different, but yeah, that's all the mold differences there. Let's go ahead and bring in what was the influence for this. Let me move the camera up, and we've got oh, this does it for me right here. That's that. That is that. I am a happy man right now because Papa G2 Megatron and Junior G2 Megatron, this is too perfect for me. I love this so much. But yeah, there's his influence. You can definitely see, you know, where all the throwbacks are and everything like that. There are some obvious differences in the Earthrise figure, where he doesn't have the silver hands, he doesn't have the silver waist. Obviously, he doesn't have an entire landing platform, basically, you know, for a chest. But the colors are there. Everything works, as you can see. You know, bits of orange on the kneecaps there. His feet are silver, you know, or gray, and legs are gray. I mean, his waist is purple there, as the original toy is green, but, you know, hey, it works. It works, and that is definitely a lovely, lovely throwback. And one more, because those who tuned into the channel enough, and let's get this camera back down there so we can focus on the best part of this, and G2 Megatron. But anyone who watched my Megatronapalooza series of videos knows that for the longest time, the GDO Megatron was my go-to Voyager Megatron for my collection. Any bits of my display, I went to him because he just looked the coolest, you know. And again, it was a throwback to Generation 2 Megatron. Now I have Earthrise G2 Megatron Generation Selects, and it's a close one because I really like this one. He's definitely unique, but this does it for me. But let's get that out of the way there, and that's that. You know, 15 minutes of me. I'll probably going to be 16 minutes by the time I'm done with the video, yakking on about how I love this. This is now in my top 5 Transformers of all time. Not because of the mold, but just because of the whole package. Because the mold I could take or leave. I myself personally have 2 versions of the Siege Megatron mold, and that was enough for me. I'm passing on the original Earthrise mold entirely. I have no problem doing so. But this I had to have. Had to. It's Generation 2 Megatron through and through, and it is perfect. Do I recommend this? Yes, wholeheartedly. Get it wherever you can. Spend the $30 to get this toy. It is wonderful. It is amazing. It's just for anybody who is who came up into Transformers during Generation 2, grew up on it, remembers it fondly, like I do, because I do fondly remember Generation 2. Or even Beast Wars II, I believe it was, where they did the Mega Storm, which is basically a kind of slight redeco of the Generation 2 Megatron mold. Either way, just I can't sing the praises enough. Now, the original mold, I mean, it's Megatron, it's gray. If you like Megatron, go ahead and get it. The mold itself isn't bad. Just got enough of them. But this had to have, because it's a throwback to easily my favorite Transformer of all time, and now he's in my top 5. So with that being said, this has been the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Generation Selects. Holy crap, what a mouthful. Generation 2 Megatron. Hopefully y'all are staying safe. Hopefully y'all are staying healthy. Wash your hands, wear your masks, be kind to your fellow human being. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you did, maybe shoot a subscribe my way. I would greatly appreciate that. All that said, this toy is a must, especially for anyone who looks back fondly on Generation 2. And I will see you, as I bump them, we'll see you in the next video.